Hey guys, it's Zaf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now we have a brand new game mode going live today, which is Siege mode. It is the clan versus clan system that has been long promised. Not that clan versus clan system, which is a wallet versus wallet system, but an actual competitive arena-focused PvP game mode that is specifically designed for you to coordinate with your clans, to work together, and hopefully walk away with some big rewards. That's the goal of the system. Now, I've kind of held off making a video about the Siege mode because I've been waiting to get all the information, all of the different features and all of the different sort of rules and requirements. How many fights do you do? How long is it? What is the window? Both parts of the video, I wanted to see the whole thing as a one piece of content before I kind of gave my thoughts, my opinions, and where we are going to go with this game mode, because this is going to be, I would suggest, one of the most complicated game modes ever added to Raid Shadow Legends in its history, right? We've had some complicated encounters in terms of Hydra, which requires you to build very complex teams, but the actual game mode itself is pretty simple. Go in a Hydra, fight the Hydra, do enough damage, beat the Hydra. Very straightforward. This game mode is completely different. It's like taking the Sintranos modes, amalgamating it together with like player choice and clan management, and I'll be honest, this is about as much clan management as we have in the game, which sounds like it's terrifying. As a clan leader right now, I am terrified about this game mode as to how do we have a method for assisting our clan members that may not necessarily be using things like Discord. So like your clan might just use the in-game clan chat. Maybe you're just in a clan that you randomly talk to in clan chat. This is going to be a lot harder. But what I want to talk about mainly in this video is the rewards, the incentives to do the game mode, and a rough TLDR of how it works, because there's so much information that Playroom have thrown out that I feel like players need some way of just roughly, like, take me down to a basic level. What do I need to do in a day-to-day kind of perspective? I will be doing follow-up videos on this that will probably be more targeted around how do you set your best defenses, where should you set the best defenses, what kind of bonuses exist. I have all of the bonuses indexed that I'm going to be probably figuring out how to put on the website, and we are trying to find ways to assist people with understanding how to approach Siege mode. So there's lots of different things that I will do as a follow-up. This video, I just want to give like a rough overall view of my opinion. The rewards, which right now there's a major problem with rewards, and it's kind of going to make this video get a bit negative at some point. I'm trying to stay positive because I actually quite like what they've done, but the rewards, I don't even know if I can do the reward section with a straight face. We'll see how it goes. So just before we get into like the main content of the video, Playroom have released a couple of articles here around sort of the raid system in terms of the new Siege system, the basics. It's a very heavy wall of text. It's a lot. I don't think many people are going to read it. To be honest, it is only really for the foolhardy. Now, what we have done at HH Gaming is broken this down into a more simplified article with some visual representations that we've got out of the videos. So you can see here, we've got all about the prep phases, how long things are going to last for, all the different visuals and screens, how many fights you can do. We've tried to break it down. It's still a little bit top level. It's not going into the super details, but at least it breaks it down in a more visual way so you can kind of understand what you need to do here. I'll put a link to all of the articles from the website in the pinned comment of this video. So if you're a bit overwhelmed, you can go there, check it out, and get a bit of a rough idea of, you know, what do you need to do when it starts. Probably by the time this video goes out, Siege has already started. I'm recording it the night before. So I've got a few things I want to go through first, just to basically summarize the whole concept in a very simple manner, right? Siege mode, this is what it is, Siege mode. There'll be a new sort of bar when you go into Raid. That'll probably be live by the time this video goes out. You go in there, and the first month, the first event that we're going to have is going to follow this structure. So the structure is very straightforward. There is 2 weeks of a rotation, and I would imagine this is going to alternate with CVC. So you're going to find it's almost going to go CVC 1 week, Siege the next week, CVC 1 week, Siege the next week. So you always, every Tuesday and Wednesday now, there's always going to be some sort of clan activity. I think that is how it's going to work. I could be wrong. We'll have to see how it goes, but that's how I imagine it is going to work. Now, there's going to be 12 days of preparation, and what that means is you have 12 days as a clan to figure out all of the different bonuses, the defenses you're going to have, which player is taking which towers you're going to focus your time on. Now, it is a bit of a progressive system in the sense that you can technically hold 2 places on the map. If you hold both defense towers right near the stronghold and you can't be defeated in those 2, then you can lose every other location on the map, but they can never get to your stronghold. The 2 towers is like, there's stronghold here, there's 2 towers, the defense towers, and then there's a mana tower, magic tower, I think there is. If you hold the 2 defense towers, the enemy can't reach your stronghold. So that might be an interesting focus here. That's kind of like what you need to do in the prep phase. You need to work together as a clan without any sort of clan communication systems in game, if you don't use an outside source like Discord, to basically figure out how to prepare your defense. Now, you also can set like a backup defense. So if you don't have everyone in the clan setting a defense, then your backup defense will kind of fill an empty spot, which is kind of a good idea as well. Then there's a 2-day fight window. This is like the CVC tournament. 2 days, you fight the enemy, they fight you, and then you go back into the prep phase. That's why I said it's like a 2-week rotation. There'll be a 2-week CVC window and then a 12-day prep window. That is as basic as I can make the game mode sound. 12 days of prep, 2 days of fighting. Repeat, repeat, constant, constant. Now, they will have some sort of structures here. For example, leaders and deputies are going to be important. Make sure you get your clan leader and deputy system set up properly. They will be the ones that can spend the donated florins and mana crystals, which are acquired as you fight in Siege, to upgrade and repair buildings and do whatever you want. The only thing is, if you're putting a defense in one of the sentry towers, like the normal tower, the normal sort of points, you pick whatever you want, or you just put a normal defense. Sounds like on day 1, every player in the clan is going to have 2 defenses, right? So you need to have 8 heroes, 8 champions that you need to put into a 4-man defense in 2 places to be able to cover all of your towers. So obviously you're going to want to make sure that the Krakens in your clan are defending the closest to the heartland. Those 2 towers that I was talking about, the defense towers right at the top of your stronghold, you want to probably put all of your Krakens in that one there. And also then obviously repairing. It sounds like their buildings will never downgrade. So once you've upgraded them, they'll never downgrade. You just have to repair them. So that kind of makes it. And it pretty much, in a basic form, that is what Siege mode is. 12 days of prep, you put your defenses in, and then 2 days you go fight the opponent. If you take the enemy stronghold and you win, and you basically earn enough victory medals, which is win enough fights, you will then win that siege, and then you walk away with your rewards. If you defend your stronghold, then I don't think you can win, but you might not lose, right? You have to take the enemy stronghold to win a siege battle. It's kind of weird. Now, there are some rewards that you can get without having to win the siege battle, and there are some rewards that you will get when you win. We're going to go through the rewards in a section, but that is basically Siege. 12 days prep, put 2 defenses in, fight 4 times, I think. I don't know if it's 4 times per day or 8 times in total per siege. That one I don't know. It's not really clear. And then afterwards, you repair your buildings and you go again, and it's going to happen every 2 weeks. Pretty much as straightforward as that. Now, I will say, just before I get into this section here, I absolutely kind of love this system. I think it's much more depth than I expected in a clan war system. I actually like the fact that we can force meta in specific locations that benefit us as players. If I, for example, happen to have Leorius, and I happen to have like a Giga Lizardman squad, one of the best Lizardman arena teams you can do, then I could potentially force the opponent to also have to have the same requirements, which means that it's not impossible for me to set some crazy niche defenses. Some of the champions in game we have, like Valmond, where really it only works in certain situations, or you want to do it so you don't have to face Armands. If you can force the meta away into different places, it does make it more interesting. It's not just the 4 best meta champions beats the 4 best meta champions. Those restrictions and rules and power-ups and bonuses are going to make the siege battle at least thought-provoking. And I think that is better than just doing what they would have done before, which is just like throw in 4 different heroes and off you go. And then, you know, if the 4 champions win, congrats, and it's like a Kraken war. Now, whether or not it just evolves into win trading or like some sort of like matchmaking hell, we don't know yet. But certainly on a top level, I love the concept. I love the progressive nature of a siege, where you have to fight your way through the city town to be able to take the stronghold. From an RPG, MMO, Game of Thrones feeling, that feels really good. It feels logical that I have to fight my way to the stronghold. And it feels like all players in the clan can have a go. That's the important thing for me. It's not just for the Krakens. You know, anyone can put a defense in. So if you are one of these clans that want to be not the tier 6 clans, but like maybe a tier 4, tier 5, maybe you hover in gold 1 live arena or something of that nature, right? You're a good player. You've got lots of good friends you play with. All of you are pretty well, you know, you're not necessarily end game players, but you've got good rosters. Well, all of you can feel like you can partake in this defense battle. And I think that's an important thing. Many of these game modes I've seen in the past, in terms of games like Dragonair, Bloodlines, it can be very much well, the 5 best players kind of carry the alliance, and then you just wait for them to get the rewards for you. And it's not that much fun then, because you're not actually feeling like you're getting anything for your time. You're not contributing. So I think it's quite important that everyone in the clan can take part. So overall, the system I like. Now let's get to the negative part of the video, which I can't actually do this with a straight face. I can't do this with a straight face. It's actually impossible for me to do. I've got numbers, and when you see the numbers, you're just going to sit there and go, who did the math on this? Because generally speaking, PvP game modes are the worst motivation for players. Most players, I think everyone in the comments right now, you can put it in the comments right now if you want to, you'll probably tell me that PvP is the least interesting thing. You don't enjoy it more than anything else. You much prefer things like Doom Tower progression or Clan Boss or Faction Wars over the arena game mode. So already you're fighting this kind of, well, we've got to convince people it's a fun game mode. And then if you don't put rewards there, you're just kind of going, well, it's a game mode I don't have time to play, and the rewards kind of suck is the best way. So let me explain exactly how it works. When you're fighting in Siege, there is a CVC style thing where we have the team milestones, the alliance, the clan milestones, right? CVC has 2 sets of rewards, personal rewards, clan rewards. So long as you achieve a certain amount of points, the clan will earn those rewards. And this is the exact same model. So long as you earn 7,000 victory points, it looks like you will get the chest rewards guaranteed, whether you win or not. Now, here's the first problem. It looks like, from everything that I've seen in the code and the data and everything, the chest that you see in the video is 1 artifact. So per siege, which is every 2 weeks, you will get 4 artifacts if you complete the milestones. 4. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever had any valuable, like maybe I've had 1 valuable piece in about 6 months from the equipment, like the gear that they give you in clan versus clan. So to only get 4, and the only place you can get this feral set from what it looks like is going to be is from this game mode, is obnoxiously poor. We'll have a look at the exact numbers now, and you can see why I'm saying it's terrible. Then once you've done that, if you win the siege, which requires you to defeat the opponent's siege stronghold, and you have to have as much victory points, you have to win the most fights, essentially. You have to hold as many defenses, and you have to win the stronghold. Then you get a victory chest. Now, the victory chest will give you the only place you can get accessories. It's the only place you can get these new accessories for this new artifact set. The only place. You'll get some clan XP. Not many clans need that anymore. You get clan gold, and you'll get primal quartz, and you'll get champion fragments. This is a real problem for me. They have locked the champion, the new Void Legendary, you can only get in this game mode behind winning in this game mode. You have to win the siege to be able to get this champion. And it is a massive problem. Like, no other game mode requires you to win to get the champion. Mithrala, you just got to do Hydra. Drexar is in the bronze tier, so as long as you do a few fights per day, you can get Drexar. Clan Gold for your Karl, Yannicka, doesn't require you to win. Even Carnage, you could skip half of Cintrano's hard mode, half of it, and you will probably get Carnage within about a year. And for the average late game player, they should be able to clear a lot of Cobble Market, a lot of Plague Home, and a lot of the other area, right? It's Soul Cross particularly, that's pretty nasty, and then very select few stages in the 2 other districts. But pretty much you should be able to do it in at least like maybe just a little bit over a year for Carnage. But you can do it without having to win, right? You can push it as much as you want. You don't have to win to do that. The only way you get Orthoteryx Lamaru is by winning. You have to win the sieges. And the amount you get per winning is horrendous. It is awful. It is the worst thing I've ever seen. It is worse than clan leveling when the clan systems first came out. And we also get some Chaos Orb. Let me show you the numbers here. So what you are seeing on screen right now is the rewards that you will get per tier of the siege, right? All we saw in the video so far has been like, I think, tier 1 rewards. This is the actual rewards that you will get as you climb through tiers. Now, we don't know how quickly you can go from tier 1 to tier 6. I don't think they're going to drop clans straight into tier 6. I'm going to imagine you're going to start at tier 1 and then you're going to have to work up to tier 6. So basically, from a clan experience, you will get 50 clan experience. 50 at tier 6. Now, obviously, you have 30 members. So, you could say, well, that means that the clan is going to get 1,500 clan experience, which is about the equivalent of, I think, was it the 3 sets of the quests you complete. So it's about like I think it's about 150 clan quests, but it's one clan member will earn about 1,000 clan experience per CBC, so one event. So per one siege you will earn 50, which I suppose is not too bad, but I mean it's very, very minor. I don't think any clan is really that fussed unless they haven't unlocked all the clan shop. Now from a clan gold perspective, you're going to earn 500 at tier 6. Where I'm looking at tier 6 first because that's the best you could do, and then we're going to look further down. You get 500. Now I earn about 430 from one Hydra chest. One Hydra chest that I get per week that probably, if I didn't care about Hydra Clash, I could top chest Hydra Nightmare on my teams in about 5 minutes, but the average player might take them 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So for 2 days work per fortnight, maybe it's okay, but it's still a bit like, do you even need that clan gold? Do you have enough? We have a lot of clan gold. This is now where it gets stupid. Primal quartz. You get 1/4 of a primal shard for winning a siege. Not even half. 1/4. You get 25 quartz. 25. What are they thinking? Once a fortnight. So in order for me to get a primal shard from siege, it's going to take me 2 months of winning at tier 6 every time to get one primal shard. I'm trying to keep a straight face. I can't. It's so bad. This is so bad. It's basically forgettable. And now we get to like the real nasty ones, right? We're going to stop here at this point and we're going to look at the other ranks, right? I'm going to put a little line here. Champion fragments. If you win a siege, you'll get 7 fragments at tier 6. Okay? You'll get 7 fragments. This is tier 6 if you win. If you win at tier 2, it becomes 2 fragments. This is impossible for the majority of people are not going to get this champion at this rate. Like, it's just not possible. Let me show you the numbers here. This is why I'm saying I can't keep a straight face, okay? Let's just assume we have all the tiers set out here. Based on the numbers we had, where it goes like 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, I've put in some different win rate boundaries for us to compare. Some different win rate boundaries, right? So obviously, you're not likely to win every single siege because it depends who you're matchmaking up. Like, you don't win every clan versus clan. You don't win every Hydra Clash. It's not guaranteed. So if we go first with a guaranteed, it's the best possible chance. Then, in order for you to get the new champion, the new Void Legendary, the best clan winning every single siege at tier 6 will take them 0.6 years or 7 months. Right, 7 months, just over, probably about 7.5 months because it's every 2 weeks, to get Lamasu. But you have to win every siege for 7.5 months, which is basically, it's not going to happen. But here's where it gets stupid. If we drop it down to a 50% win rate, right? I win one a month and I lose the next one, roughly. It's going to take you 14 months at the best possible tier. If we take this down to a tier 3, it's going to take you 50 months at a 50% win rate. I would say a big chunk of you watching these videos are probably somewhere in this window. About a tier 5 to a tier 3 clan. It's going to take you somewhere between 20 to 50 months. We are talking several years to get a champion. This is stupid. It's so bad, right? This should be the starting position. Pretty much every part of this game, it takes you about 20 weeks. 20 weeks to get a champion, okay? 20 weeks, which would roughly translate to about 5 months. If you want to claim Drexar, it takes about 20 weeks of daily exchanging, because you can get 5 a day. You need to get 100 fragments. It's about, 200 days. I think your Karl, Yannicka, the same ratio. When you do Mithrala, it takes you around about 5 to 7 weeks. It depends. It's like 20 weeks normally of like tier 1 rewards, generally speaking. I think the fastest time to get Carnage was about 5 months. The worst time was just over 12 months. It should start at this number. It shouldn't end at this number. If I'm being honest, it should be like 4 to 5 months, maybe even 3 months of sieging for a top tier clan, the best clans in the game. It shouldn't start at 41 years. If you have a 10% win rate at tier 1, it will take you 41 years to get Lamasu. Who has done this math? Please, someone in Playroom, look, I'm not trying to hate the system. I love the system that you've designed. This is a terrible incentive. The champion is unachievable for the majority of the player base, because by the time they get it in 20 months time, which is nearly 2 years, the game will be evolved beyond, it might not even exist. Raid might not even be around in a year's time, in 12 months time, 18 months time. Anything can happen. This is just not achievable. This is not realistic. If anyone is not in tier 6, they are never going to be able to get this champion. And it's one of the main things you would do to get this champion. One of the biggest incentives is this champion. Even Marius, I could get Marius in 3 months by really pushing my account. The average player will probably get Marius in about 5 to 6 months if they're a late to end game player playing it casually. 41 years. 41 years. What are they thinking? So this needs to change. Like straight away, we almost need to start at 7 months and then work our way down to 3 months. Not start at 500 months and work our way down to 7 months. The best possible clan, it's going to take them 7.5 months because it has to be on, it technically would have to round it up. You're not going to earn enough, right? Because you can only do it every 2 weeks. It's going to be about 7.5 months before you can even get Lamasu. That champion's not going to be relevant by that point. We see it with Carnage. Carnage has already lost his mythical relevancy because new mythicals have come out and they're just better than Carnage. They're just stronger than him. So I can't keep a straight face on this one. I think it's an absolute joke. It's an this is the worst reward structure for a guaranteed champion I've ever seen in any video game. Ever. It's terrible. It's so bad. Anyway, back to gearing. It doesn't get much better, unfortunately, guys. It doesn't get much better. Every time you win a victory, you'll get 1 Chaos Ore, and naturally, it just gets better as you climb the tiers. So you get a 6-star mythical. You know, I know a lot of people don't value Chaos Ores. I think they're very valuable. So it's nice to have 1, especially a 6-star mythical Chaos Ore. But 1, it's like, I'm not fussed. I'm neither pro or against it. It's not a lot, but it's great. It's fine, whatever. But here's the next big kicker, gear. Okay, there's a brand new variable set that is very desirable. It's got immunity to polymorph. It's got a crazy 9-piece bonus, right? It's got a bonus where every debuff, the wearer of this set, if you get to 9 pieces, places on an enemy, will increase that damage by 5%. So if you place 10 debuffs on an enemy, that's 50% more damage. Incredibly valuable. People will want it. This system will never allow you to make a 9 out of 9 piece, and if it does, it will be the worst build you'll ever do. It's so scarce of quantities. It's unrealistic. So the first thing I will add, if you don't win, this is basically the total rewards that you will get for doing a siege. 4 armor pieces, for fighting 4 times a day, for doing all of the defense work, for doing all the planning and strategy, the clan working together. If you lose your siege, this is your reward. 4 pieces of gear. This is why I was saying at the top of the video, PvP is a very sensitive subject within our community. A lot of people don't enjoy the arenas. This is not going to help you, player. This is going to make it worse because players are going to go, what? So for all that effort, I get 4 pieces of gear? Nah, you're all right. I'll peace out, thanks. I won't bother engaging with this. And this is where I think win trading could be encouraged because people will go, I can't be bothered. You have the win. We have the win. Whatnot. It feels like this is just not an incentive to be competitive. This is exactly the same problem as Hydroclash. If I don't win, I get nothing. 4 pieces of gear. Like, on a variable set, of a brand new variable set, this, unless they're going to put this gear set in loads of other places, this is awful. Because you've got to remember, like, Slayer set is a Forge Pass exclusive variable set. You can't forge the accessories. Now, I've been fortunate enough to be able to put 2 champions in 9 pieces of Slayer. I got super lucky with the Chaos Ore, though, to do this. Super lucky. And that's with the Forge Pass. It gives you 200 forges, and you can weight the odds of you getting a high rarity. 200. And I've had to buy 2 of those Forge Passes. This pieces here is going to give you 4. So effectively, in terms of like a Forge Pass would be, I had like 400. This is going to be about 100 times less amount of forges. And I've only barely managed to scrape 2 9 out of 9 Slayers. And if we think about Merciless and Supersonic, I've been doing Synchronous Hard and Normal for quite a while. And I don't think I can pull together a 9 out of 9 Supersonic piece of any decent build. Because what you got to remember, this gear is designed really for arenas. So you'll need a pretty good pieces of gear, right? You can't just go, oh, well, any old piece of this new set is going to work. It's going to have to be pretty good for you to be able to make it work in your arena build. Otherwise, it's not worth it. The 50% is only worth a certain amount. Well, in order for you to do this, you're going to need to get a lot more pieces than 4. So this is my main concern. This needs to be like 20 or 16. Like, it needs to be like so much more than this so that players feel like there's actually an incentive for you to play this game mode. Right now, I mean, the only good news is if you get up to tier 6, at least you're guaranteed to get a 6-star mythical. but it's only 4 pieces of 6-star mythicals. It's not like it's loads, but at least it's guaranteed to be a very good rate. At least that's a good thing. The other thing to note is if you want to make some weird pairings, like a 4 and a 4 with another set, like if you want to do 4 pieces of this new set and 4 pieces of like perception or something of that nature, well, you can't do that unless you win, because the only place you can get jewelry is winning. It's the only place. It's exactly like Hydra Clash. So the general consensus here is if you win every siege per month, you should be able to walk away with 8 pieces of normal gear and 6 accessories. That's your total winnings for a month's work. Now, let me explain why I'm saying this is not enough. Okay, this could be quite confusing for people, but let me give you some raw numbers to explain to you why I'm saying this is ridiculously hard for people to get gear. So let's just take something like, because it's a set that requires debuffing, and obviously it's got immunity to polymorph and various different things in there. It's basically giga charged immunity perception sets. The desirable way you would build sort of a debuff champion in Arena is you would have accuracy as a primary stat and then as much speed on your substats. So I've basically said, what is the probability of me getting accuracy primary stat on a chest piece and at least one of these substats being speed? Not rolled, just that speed is in the substat table. Now that basically works out as follows. There's 6 possible slots. Because when we get the armor piece, it is going to be random. The only good news is with jewelry, you'll always get 1 ring, 1 amulet, and 1 banner. But keep in mind with jewelry, it's faction specific. So there's, 16 factions in the game. So I could get 1 divided by 16 for the 1 ring that I need. Basically, if I want to get an orc ring, it's going to be a 6% chance or 6.25% chance to get the orc ring. Then if I need that to be in attack, for example, well, I can only get attack on a 33% chance. So then we times the 2 together. So to get an attack ring in orcs, it's going to be a 2.1% chance. Very, very difficult to do. And again, we can work this out and basically go, well, what's the odds of me getting one of them? Well, I would need to basically get 48 rings on average before I get an attack orc ring. 48, and you get 1 per 2 weeks. So what you can do then is you can translate this into time. So that's what we're doing here. So in terms of like the chest, well, we don't know what the slot is going to be. It's random. So we get 1 artifact piece and we get 8 per month. That's the way that it works. So we have to first work out what's the probability of us getting a chest piece. Well, this would be 16.7% because there's 6 possible slots of armor. Then we go, what is the probability of me getting accuracy as a primary stat? A chest piece can have 8 different primary stats, so therefore it's 12.5% that I get the one that I want. Then we have to work out what is the probability that we have substats. So the way that this works out generally is you can start with 10 substats on a chest piece. I think there is, because you can have 10 different substats, but it can't be the primary. So you would basically go 1 divided by 10, and then the next one you would go 1 divided by 9, and vice versa. So you're basically taking 1 out of the substats. Then you work out the probability if at least one of them rolled speed, and it roughly works out that you have a 40% chance that you will get speed on a chest piece here. It's roughly about 40% chance. So what we then do is we take these probabilities, we multiply them together, and it tells us that if I get 1 piece of this new gear, it's going to be on average a 0.8% chance that the thing that comes out of the chest box is an accuracy primary with a speed on the substat. So that means in order for us to achieve the outcome of getting 1 of them, we would divide that number with 1, and it tells us we need on average 120 pieces of gear before I would, on average, will get one of those. I could easily get lucky and the first thing that I get matches it. But on average, it's going to be about 120 pieces, which means that basically it takes me 15 months of playing Siege to realize the goal of getting an accuracy primary stat with a substat speed on a chess piece. So I need to basically wait 15 months on average to get one that matches this criteria. 15 months. Let's make it even simpler. What's the probability of me getting a speed boot? Basically a pair of speed boots from this system. Well, again, it could be any one of the 6 slots, so it's a 16.7% chance. There's 7 possible stats for speed, for boots of primary stats, so we have to divide by that. Now, I don't care about substats here, I just want the speed boot. So it's a 2.4% chance when I get one of these boxes, it's going to be a pair of speed boots, which means on average, I need 42 pieces to get the speed boot, which means it's going to take me 5 months to get a pair of speed boots from this system. About 5.25 months. This reward is terrible. There is no incentive to doing Siege, and this is the biggest negative that I can do in this video. I didn't really want to go on a negative spiral here, but I feel like someone has to like literally put the numbers on a bit of paper here to show you just how terrible this is. It's going to take me potentially years to get the champion. It's going to take me months to get anything relevant in terms of gear. So why do you want us to play this mode? What are we getting from this game mode? Because I'll tell you straight away that people will not just play it because they have fun fighting other clans. That's just not going to happen. You need to have some sort of reward incentive. So I would say to play them, they need to do an emergency hotfix and fix these drop rates before the battle phase. Like, they need to up these drop rates because they're just... It's the worst rewarded game mode that I've ever seen. At least when we do Hydra, for example, you get 3 keys and you get double chests. So if you go Nightmare all the way down, I think you get like 30 to 40 pieces per week. That's pretty good, right? It's better. It's not great. You still have, it still takes you a couple of months to be able to get something, but at least you're getting like 30 to 40. It might even be more than that. I don't even know. I'm thinking off the top of my head. It's like 30 to 40 pieces per week of stone skin and protection set gear. This, you're basically getting over a month then. If you're getting about 25 to 30, let's just say it's 25, maybe I'm overestimating. Well, you're getting about 100 pieces of gear a month. This system, you're getting 11 pieces. So compared to Hydra, because it's 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3, if say like you win every single one, it's 14. Let's just say you win every single siege, which is the most, it's unlikely to happen. It's basically, I've got to do the math here. This is just, I can't keep a straight face anymore. This is just like the most, it's 14% the value of what you would get in Hydra. 14% less rewards in terms of gear. It's just, it's bonkers to me. I know Hydra had 2 different sets, so obviously you have to take that into account. So you could say, well, maybe it's a 50-50. You only get 50 of the stone skin that you want. It's still like 28% of the quality of what you would get in Hydra, and I can't. I don't know. I'm done with this one now. I think the TLDR here, guys, is if you think you're going to get the champion, only the really, really best people are probably going to get this champion. And even them, it's going to take them 7 months. If you want to get any good pieces of gear, you're basically praying you get God tier luck and you get some of these pieces that you need. Otherwise, you're probably never going to be able to put this set together. And don't think you're going to get primal shards either, because it's going to take you 2 months of winning constantly to get 1 primal shard. And that is the rewards from Siege. But I want to end it on a positive note and say, if we can fix the rewards, I do like the game mode. I do think that managing the game mode is going to be stressful for clan leaders and deputies. And, you know, but that's where we come in as a community to try and build tools and add things that we can help each other to try and make these systems better. That's kind of like our responsibility as community members, and certainly my responsibility as a content creator to find ways to make this easier for clans. The systems are great. The kind of thought process that's gone into Siege mode is wonderful. I love the concept. I think it could be quite fun, but the reward incentive is so bad that I think most people, and you can let me know in the comments below here, see if I've got this assessment right, most people are going to go, I think this game mode is terrible because I get nothing for it. And I think that is going to be its pain point. It is so lean on rewards that people are going to go, why do I even bother? But hey, let me know in the comments below, guys. I will do follow-up videos actually trying to break down some more of the advanced topics of the mechanics, like what upgrades are the best ones to have, what kind of defenses should you set, what kind of bonuses and modifiers are worth getting. But I just wanted to get before I did any sort of patch notes, I know I didn't do it last month, but I will be getting on the patch notes this month. Before I get into like the raw detail of it, I felt like someone had to do this math. Someone had to put this math on a bit of paper to really showcase how absolutely awful it is for the player to actually even think about getting anything as a reward from this game mode. There you go, guys. Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next video.